Excellent. So we are now recording. Guys, I know that we were going to have a lot of people that will be listening to this on the replay. I'm going to have the replay going for a couple of days, and then be putting more webinars in as we get down to do a repeat on this topic. And it's a topic that I'm really passionate about because it's actually trying to get you to get to a level that you feel like you are really super, super competent, like that practitioner that you've always dreamt of. And that you want to have that feeling that you've got patients and clients that trust you, believe in you, and refer people to you as often as they can, so that you get a really strong income stream and you get a very strong, comfortable, sage client base. So you are the best in your industry. As I just said before, I'm going to share screen and you're going to have death by PowerPoint, which is the way I work it. And we're going to go about like the whole deal. You should be able to see that. Yeah. Leslie, you got a yeah on that call.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do today is we're trying to get this done in an hour. If it goes a little over, that's, you know, that's how it goes. But there's a lot of slides and there's a lot of content that I want you to kind of get an idea on how you can become better, especially right now because we're all stuck in lockdown. And just listening to Leslie, you guys are back in your second wave. North America is kind of, well, America, USA hasn't even been out of their first wave to get into the second wave. The UK are back in. We've just had 38 new COVID in Sydney. So now Australia again is talking about locking up. So while we're worried about locking up our borders again, we're thinking, is this potentially going to be a little third wave for us? Anyway, so it's a good time for you to think about getting great outcomes with remote study. I'm going to see if I can get this onto the big screen. Is it going to do that for me? No. Yes, there we go. Okay. So look at developing yourself now and past COVID. So what we're trying to do is give you some good skill sets, and that means that you have happy, healthy patients and clients. The background about me is I've got a degree in health science, remedial massage therapist as well. The health science degree was in musculoskeletal therapy. And when I finished school, I was a registered nurse by trade and did 8 years in ICU. So I can really feel for what's going on with the nursing staff in the hospital because I was in that coalface of ICU for 8 years. All I can say is the stress levels that everybody is feeling now, especially your clients and your patients, is more overwhelming. So we really need to be even more mindful of how we can help each other and help our clients. So a little bit more, I've been board director on Massage and Myotherapy Australia for 14 years. I've just stepped down off that and I'm a board member at our local golf club, which is, I think, probably harder. International presenter and coach with work. So that's my deal. I'd like to thank the mentors that have been around for me, that have been part of my life and my livelihood and my understanding of how to become a better practitioner. People like Leon Chattow, Whitney Lowe, Michelle Vassallo, Eric Dalton, Eric Brown, Dave Sheehan, Stephen Goldstein. There are hundreds of people that I managed to draw great quality knowledge from, and they are amazing people and they are so reachable. So if you've got questions or queries, most of these people, aside from poor old Leon because he's no longer with us, but most of these people are happy for you to send them a message and ask questions. We are the most approachable, not the least approachable people that you will imagine. So what do you want to get out of this workshop? What are you looking for in a webinar? Where's your thoughts about how you're going to get in through the industry? And what don't you believe that you think you should have? So what pathways do you believe that you don't have access to, or that you didn't have the opportunity for when you were going through your courses? What do you want to get out of your practice? Not only just for you, but also for your clients, because we've got to start thinking differently. You'll see we talk about a leadership scale a little bit later in a slide. It's where you sit in the matrix of first to new to someone who's an absolute guru. So I want you to think within this hour, what do you want to get out of your practice? And if you want to type things into the chat box, Leslie, type away. If other people are coming in during the course of the webinar, feel free to type stuff in. Or if you're listening to this on a replay, please, I want you to type things into underneath so I can answer those questions for you later. So I want you to tell me the one thing that you don't have that you wish you did. So it might be, I wish I had a better system that will help integrate with my patients, or I wish I had better resources that I could get a handle on, or I wish I understood research better, or I wish I knew about muscle energy techniques, or I wish I knew more about how to offer a better return on investment for my patients. Anything that you think that you don't have right now that would be in your perfect dream, your wish. I want you to just pop that into the chat box now or when you're listening to this. And I want you to think about your biggest questions to help you move forward. What's your self-improvement? What could you do? The one thing to help you to improve yourself. And it doesn't have to be only in techniques. It could be mind, it could be body, it could be spirit. I'm just going to stop the share for a moment so I can have a look and see if we've got any little questions in the box. Okay, get into the box. That would be me normally. I'll have a look at those later when we get through them. Also, if you manage to stay to the end of this, I'll get you to type in if you're there. I've got a personal little gift that I will give you if you can get through to the end of this hour, or maybe an hour and a quarter. And that's just a small gift to me, from me to you, to assist you with some ideas on maybe some lower back pain or some neck pain. So if you just want to type in there right now, #bonus, then that will be amazing for me. Wish I had a better system of treatment to know what treatments to do for which issues. I agree, you know, Leslie. We get all these skills we understand. So I wish I had a better system of treatment to know what treatments to do for which issues. So when we're looking at what treatment for which issues, we go, it's the order of treatment, yeah? It's like I might have someone that comes in here with neck pain or with the lower back pain, and am I going to do massage glides first, or am I going to do muscle strength testing first, or red flags first? And I think it comes down to a list of time, our history of how long we can actually work with our patients, and we start to get familiar with them, and then we start to put in good systems. So the system might be your history taking chart. So you might rechange your history to fit out with what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to ask a history question that might lead me to do these assessments. This history question might lead me to do these treatment techniques. So it might say, I'm going to be doing neural first. So I might be doing the nervous system first. I might be, which would be including your red flags. Then I might be turning around and go, okay, so I'm looking at the holistic picture, which is coming first. If you talk to podiatrists, they're going to say work on the feet. If you talk to osteopaths, they're going to talk about the pelvis. If you look at chiropractors, they're going to talk about the spine. So we need to work out where we feel we sit best in there. For me personally, I'll go neurolymphatic, so nerves, I strength test and then turn on the nerves, because if the nerves aren't firing and feeding the body, then nothing else is going to be as effective. And we all know prior to that we want to do some deep breathing and get some breathing techniques to help us turn off our sympathetic nervous system. So that's where I start, and I go to the pelvis, align that, because if the pelvis is upset, in flares, out flares, that kind of stuff, you're going to automatically have spinal rotations and torsions. So that's where I go. And then I touch on the joints, and then I touch on the muscles. But we can show you that's all part of the system. One of the big beefs that we have is that we're fighting underpriced therapists, and it drives me mad. And people start going, oh my God, I have to match someone who's paying less. And John Ruskin in The Common Law of Business talked about there's hardly anything in the world that someone cannot make a little worse and sell a little cheaper. And people who consider a price alone are that person's lawful prey. Like when you think about what that means, they're the lawful prey. It means if you're a crappy practitioner and you're offering things cheaper and people are prepared to go in and use that, then fair call. My thoughts are that we have a responsibility to sell well and be noble about it to protect our clients from cheap and nasty selling. And that's one of those big things. So I had a phone call the other day from somebody who said, how much do you charge for a treatment? Now, I'm trying not to take any more bookings. So I just said $132. I didn't give them any more information at all. I just said, oh, $132. What I would, and they stopped. I hadn't given any qualifying statements, comments, anything. And they went, oh, okay, thank you. So I could have, and I should have, had I wanted more patients, said, oh, thanks for the phone call. Who am I talking to? And then go through the whole system about what's wrong, who have you seen, take some interest. Because one thing in 2020 that has taught us that people want true values. They're looking for true values, and that's what's happened all the way along this year. We've been going with, we've got risks, we don't know what's happening. We've had the highest of highs in positive aspects, like the building industry is booming. Yeah, we've had the lowest of lows, where right now more people are not working, and we're getting 3,000 plus almost 4,000 deaths in America a day right now. So like there's the highs and the lows. And what we are looking for is the patients, we need to give them ways to keep them less in stress, because the more stress they have, the more crisis they feel. We want them to feel that they are thriving. And by thriving, it's ways that we can offer nurture and support to help them feel like they're actually moving forward and up in that path. What we can give them in that is hope. In that section there, in some point of this year, every person that you have seen, and including yourself, will have hit your survival line. You get to a point where you go, I've got to make a decision now. I'm either going to sink into crisis or I'm going to move up. And the clean link between the crisis and the thrive, is one of hope. You go, okay, take a big breath in, pull up my girly pants. I'm going to work at an emotional level and moving forward. And that's what you can do for your clients and your patients. We want to be authentic, and we want to make sure that our patients feel safe and nurtured. Now, safe and nurturing right now in lockdown might simply be that you're making a fortnightly phone call. You might be sending out a newsletter. You might be doing small news feeds that you can link in with your patients and clients. Just something that they know that you are there for them. And that's the difference between an average therapist and a great therapist. So what I look at now is how do you fit, where's your authentic self in all this? Because people can see charlatans. They see straight through someone who doesn't have the same fit and desire as them. So we get those people that are the product sellers. Now, the best example of a product seller for me are the big block shops in the supermarkets. You know, like you get the one group that have one healthcare provider number and they're all abusing it, and it's just price point only. It's like it's a quick fix, it's a pill. They don't care about you. There's nothing any further. When we are sitting at that price point only, we don't really think or care about what we're doing, what we're offering. What we want to look at is trying to think about our solution focus. So some of you will be thinking, I can help them. So they feel like they're being helped. We feel like we're providing them with a solution. We feel like we're coming from a little bit more authority, but it's still only commoditized because it's still based on your knowledge or lack of knowledge. And then we get to a stage in our academic and work longevity that we provide strength and safety, and your client actually feels like you have their back. They feel like they're being defended, and you become better equipped. So most of you right now that will be listening to this webinar will be in either the solution focus, where you have patients who feel like you are helping them regularly, or you'll be in the strength hero section, where they feel like you've got their back. So I'm guessing if you type in here whether you feel like you're an H for the hero or the A for authority, somewhere between the two, or whether you feel like you're in P, which means like you just really knew it or you haven't had the opportunity to be working. But most of you in the chat box and in the replay, I just want you to put in there where you're feeling that you are in there. And the longer that you've been in the industry, the further up that matrix you'll go. It gets to the stage that we become the sage, and it's where they feel like that you feel like you've got enough wisdom that you are actually coming from a really strong place, where your client feels that you've got real authenticity, oh God, you're super authentic. Damn it, English. You've got client loyalty and you've got referrals. They not only do they feel that they're feeling defended, but they actually feel like you're giving them much more things than just a dirty old cheap massage. And the other interesting thing about people when they feel like that you're their sage, the clients and patients go, I've got this person who's actually smarter. And they get a little bit egocentric. They go, oh, no, you got a bad back? No, I do not even go and see so-and-so. I've got the person for you. They do this and this and this. And they put you up on this pedestal, and they actually feel quite, it's the same as I've got the hairdresser from heaven. So I just go, she is my sage. She is the one person that I will travel the world to go to, because I know she knows me better than anyone else and can look after my hair. And I know that's a really, Gandhi is probably the example I could have given, or Mother Teresa, but in fact, in the real world now, hair, massage, things that are going to keep you well. Interestingly enough, the sage isn't a quick, short progression. It's actually, it takes a long time to get from hero to sage. It gets a long time for your clients to feel like you're being truly defended to that absolute giant point where they believe that you are more than anything that they could ever want. And it's the reason and how you get there is how you communicate with your clients. So we need to validate our price. You need to have a solution and give them strength and stability and pain management. But you also need to give them support when they're not in your clinic. So how can you become that sage? I want you to think and communicate more deeply, more intelligently, and more profoundly with more clarity than anyone else. When you think about it, sages actually say very little. People will sit and wait for a sage to talk, because what sages do is they create thinking and they create influence. So you're actually giving wise words to your clients and patients that they then take away and they embody, and they actually tend to look after themselves more because they've listened to your words and they believe that you are someone that they truly value. And that's what I'm actually trying to get you to. So I talk about Gold Star Practitioner, and that's where I believe in a perfect world we should all become, if we truly want to become that Gold Star Practitioner. And a Gold Star Practitioner is someone when you have a patient or a client that comes to see you, you treat them on the table, you get them up, they move around and they go, oh, well, that's exactly what I need. I actually know that you are looking after me. I know that you're giving me the right treatment. And I actually know that you're giving me the aftercare support that I really want. They look at you as a treatment guru. They look at you for endless support. And they look at you as being able to offer them unlimited resources. And so those are the three funnels that come in for our patients and our clients, for them to actually feel that they have you as their highest level, and you're the one who's going to refer to them, and you're the one that's going to be able to offer them solutions for pain management. So what I did at the beginning of the year is I worked out how I could best design this so it made more sense to me. Like I could unpack it and go, well, I know what I'm doing, but how do I actually make it work for my clients and my patients? So I set it into these three levels that I wanted to offer great treatment. I wanted to give them endless support, and I wanted to make sure I had unlimited resources for which to give them. So what I thought about it, security. If I'm giving them security, it gives them confidence, and I'm going to get increased referrals. And they feel secure because they've got good treatment and they've got great endless support. When I thought about it and I put some structure behind my, not only in my treatment, as in I was saying, Leslie, what's the right order? Once I got the structure there, but also the structure externally. So what I have to offer, so my clients can book online, they get a reminder letter beforehand, they get a reminder text beforehand, they get a letter, like a small email a couple of days later with the other expectations. They get Christmas, like a little note with Christmas, they get a little notes on birthdays. They get a fortnightly newsletter, and that's all automated. So it doesn't take a lot of time once it's automated up. But by getting some structure, I've drawn from my unlimited resources and I've got my treatment techniques, and they then look at it as exceptional service. And I then get increased client outcomes. Two ways. One, because I'm giving good service, but two, because the placebo versus the nocebo effect. If your clients believe in you because they trust you, because they have got an inbuilt self-knowledge that you are there for them, the increase in productivity of health, stability, pain management goes out the window. So it's so much higher. You will get increased client outcomes, which means you still get more referrals. And because you're offering them endless support with unlimited resources, they feel that you are supporting with authority. And all those systems that I have in best practice background, those kind of things are setting up with Clinico or Timely or Notero, setting up with MailChimp, setting up with the calendars. So that's all the back end stuff that they don't see, but there are ways to generate that feeling that you are that gold star practitioner for them. And we want to be able to charge what we're worth. No one should be charging $70 for treatment, unless you're doing it at the Chinese knock shop in Chermside Shopping Centre or Toronto Plaza or something. Should not be doing that. You should be charging what you're worth. And if they believe that you are that person, they will actually pay that money. There's no way that they won't. You think about if you're desperate to have your car serviced and you're going to a great car service person who you know that the car's going to be fixed, you're happy to pay more to have their outcome. Yeah? So remember that this is a two-way street. So right now we're looking at trying to, where they are feeling that they're getting more security, but I actually want to be able to try to offer you ways that you can actually have the information, the structure, the security, and the support. So I'm trying to propose a way that you have an endless resources at your fingertips. So when we get into that health leader ladder, which is what I was talking about before, we are all somewhere within this point. So the absolute newbie, when they first come out of their college, they're absolutely full of fear. They've got no idea what they're doing. So if you're listening to this and you're a brand new practitioner, the mighty words that I've heard from Whitney Lowe, from Robert Libby, from Eric Dalton, who else I've been speaking to, Perry Nicholson, all these practitioners, or Jeff Shearer is another perfect example, they've all said the same thing. Open your doors and treat, even if it's just free for family and friends, because you want to break down the fear. The amount of practitioners that do the courses and then leave because they're so scared in case they get it wrong, in case they hurt someone. No one has ever killed anyone in the massage industry. I hate to tell you, That's when we're not that deadly. You might bruise someone with an elbow, you might go too hard into a Terry's trigger point, but you're not going to kill them. So just get hands-on bodies and start getting some implicit information, implicit knowledge into your hands, because once you start treating, then you start getting to that stage that you've got to explore, you're going to try to find more ways to find your patients and your clients. And that might be by doing swaps with other therapists. It might be introducing yourself to the local doctor, the local nutritionist, the local pharmacist, the local naturopath, the 𝐿 store, the health food store. Start handing cards out, having some awareness that people feel comfortable. I'm right now, because of doing webinars and trying to get more information out to the globe, I'm back down to explore again. I'm now collaborating with other practitioners I've actually got a woman in Vancouver that we're going to be doing some collaborative work with, so that I can send some of the information to her people and she can send stuff out to mine. So you're anywhere up and down this line. A lot of us are hitting at that rising star, so we're just starting to put those systems in place. So as I said, the integrated calendar booking systems, all of your background, like I have paperwork, I've got these kind of things that I have for my patients, where they're actually having homework that they get. Everything starts to become integrated and systematic. And then you start to fall into the successful. So you start getting a profile. People start talking about you amongst their peers. When you start to feel that you're getting to that stage where you're successful, then you start going, okay, what else can I offer here? And I know lots of therapists now that are selling. They might sell magnesium, they might sell trigger point balls, TheraBands, tubing, self-massages, things like that. You're adding extra products because you suddenly realize, if I've only got 40 hours in the week, I'm not going to treat for 40 hours because I'm going to kill myself. But I can treat for 30 hours a week and sell products that make up that extra to make sure that I can put food on the table and pay my rent, etc. So that's when we start looking at scale products. So products that are from, say, I have, because of my educational background, there's lots of online courses, DVDs, things like that. So they're the products for me. So I can reduce my workload here. So I can add actually more, because where my brain is I actually want to offer you more. For me, my big thing is Chapmans Reflexes, the neurolymphatic points. The more people that can get treated with neurolymphatic points, and Leslie will attest to this, it works an absolute treat. So Leslie, if you want to put anything in the chat box, people can read that saying it is amazing. That would be, yeah, it's always good to get a little bit of a plug for something that works. So for me, my products are trying to get that out so that you can treat people using that technique so that more people are well. And that's my big thing right now. That's what I want to give to the world. And then you get up into the industry leader. So there's a few amazing industry leaders on our planet in this arena. People like Leon Chattow comes to mind. I was talking to Ed Lark. Perry Nicholson is an incredible practitioner. He's a chiropractor in He's a chiropractor in the States. Eric Dalton is amazing. Whitney Lowe is amazing. Yeah, I love Chapmans too. I absolutely adore Chapmans. It works so well and it's gentle. Who else? John Sharkey. They are the true leaders in our industry. And we can get so much information from them. So don't be afraid to ask for help from them, because they'll always talk to you. So we've talked about those three big parts. And then how do you actually get them to move? So what I call is the 9 accelerators. So there's tools to fill those 3 big areas. Now, part of my promise in this industry is that I'm going to commit and support to anybody who believes that they want to be more than just a normal therapist. I have an intolerable red line that I will only take therapists into under their wing, under my wing, that if you want to be more than just average. If you only want to be average, then I don't want to be helped. I don't want to spend the time looking after you. I want people who want to be more than average. I want people who are on a journey of excellence and want to be, by excellent, I mean, you want to be looking after your clients and your patients. You want to feel like at the end of the day, you've done a really good job, and you want to wake up in the morning going, yes, who am I going to treat? What am I going to do? Where am I going right now? That's what we want. My promise to your commitment is that I will be there every step of the way. And the group that I have currently, what we talk about is clarity, community, and training. So the best investment, as Warren Buffett says, that you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. And it's so true. So talking about the 9 accelerators, and we don't have time to go through all of this, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of a touch on some of them. So we look at, if you look at the top box, security, endless support, we've got client intimacy, cost, time, efficiency, and a safer experience. People need to feel, when they're secure, they need to feel that there's an intimacy between you and them. They need to know that the time that you spend with them is value for money, and they feel safe. People have got to feel safe. 2020 has showed us nothing more than that. They really want to know that there is incontestable value. What you're giving them is something that you would never get from anywhere else. You want to know, they want to feel that they can be mentored, and you want to feel like you have got tech-savvy support. And then with structure, newsletters, links, videos and broadcasts, easy application. So they're all the things that you can offer your clients, but they're all the things that I'm actually offering within the Gold Star Practitioner experience. So there are ways for you to have the endless support, the unlimited experience, and the treatment. Let's just touch one of them. So incontestable value, what does that actually mean? It's the value to your clients, and that's what makes a difference. So if we think about that conversation I was talking about with that fellow who rang up, where it's a shallow conversation, people just go, how much for treatment? So we're not actually engaging in what they want. It shouldn't be about the cost. It should be about their wants. So if someone just asks you what a price point is, they're really not engaging. They don't really want to get information from you other than tick and go. But sometimes people only ask those small things because it's behavioural. You know, you walk into a shop and a shop assistant comes up to you and say, can I help you? You go, oh, no, it's all right, I'm just looking. Because you don't feel like you want to be engaged. But if someone comes up to you in the shop and goes, hi, look, you know, if you're looking for things that are going to make a difference to your family, this area over here is the area to your right. This area here is the area that is for, you know, family and friends who you probably don't want to give a lot to. This area in the middle is for those people who you might feel that you've got a little bit more time for. You've loved them more through the year. It might be your kids or your grandparents. And this area here, this is like the high end point. This is the area that it might be that one person that you love, or the one person that you really want to give something special to. And you've engaged them in a way that they would probably then come up and go, oh, actually, yeah, I've got someone over there and I've got someone. So you're bringing them on board. When somebody phones up for a conversation, how much is the treatment? You're probably not going to be talking like that. You want to be going, you don't want to sit there and say, well, it varies on the time, but who am I talking to? And what's going on? Do you mind have you got 5 minutes to have a conversation so I can unpack and I can give you a better idea of how much will be through the time and what you're looking at? And they will not, so engage them. Get them to answer questions for you. And don't be scared to be asking questions. I pulled over on the side of the road and chat to someone for 5 minutes, give them a time frame, and then go from there. So we're trying to get a great fix, but we're not necessarily resolving any of those background issues. What we want to do is we want to have a really deep conversation. We want to ask them what they really want from the treatment. Like, so you've got a bad back, but has that been slowing you down? Have you been able to play with the kids? Have you been able to get to work? Like, unpack the deepest problem And quite often that's not the 5-minute conversation. It might be the first time they come into the clinic. So you know that you're going, okay, so you can come in once and I can try to do this treatment, but if everyone has done the same treatment for you and you've seen 20 therapists, let's try to do something that's a bit different. Are you okay with that? What's going on? You can't pick up the kids. If your 3 wish lists are that you want to be able to walk the dog and you can't do it in the morning because you wake up your shoulders too sore because you've been pulling the dog chain, or you want to be able to swim but you've hurt your neck. So we want to find out their goals and their dreams and then assist them through that. Because it's not just about you getting a patient into your treatment room and bang, 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 do the work and get them out. It's about you actually caring enough about that person that you're treating to want to find out what's really going on and how we can really help them. With the Supercharged Therapist Method and the Supercharged Therapist Group, we want to try to find ways to give valuable and authentic assistance so that you've actually got that at every step of the way, direct access to learning for you and that you can be able to give to your clients and patients, and social groups. So you're actually within groups that are actually all like-minded. And it's super interesting when I've talked to a few people. We've got quite a few people in the group. So Libby Jones O'Flaherty, who is over in Dublin, she is an amazing therapist. She was, she came pretty much on board the second that I was over in Dublin last year teaching the Supercharged group. And just some little comments that she was talking about. Like she just started doing the Supercharged work and the Chapmans Reflexes, and she's now full. So she was like going in her beautiful Irish, you know, it was fantastic that I didn't have to work for 6 weeks because we were in lockdown. Yahoo! I actually had time to do a little bit more research and reading and stuff because I've been so busy with patients and clients because she's full. She's full and they love her. So it's really interesting to see how she goes with that. When we look at our newsletters and our links, how can we best help you? So newsletters and links give for you a way to help your patients more. So if a patient just comes in to see you, or if you just listen to me chat, all it is noise. So we only take 11% of any visual or any acknowledgement. Only 11% is vocal. 83% is actual visual. So the more things that you see, the more things that you can show your clients, the more information that you can send them in newsletters and articles and in drawings and videos, the greater the impact that it has for them. If you write out what they need to do, they're more likely to see it. If you just speak it to them, they're less likely to get it. But if you actually can give them more of a structural access, so by structural access, that's my fortnightly newsletters. Bang, out it goes each week, each fortnight. There's a video content. There's this is what we're talking about. This month will be hips. Next month will be lower back. Just 2 small newsletters. And they're all accessible because they're all within the Supercharged group. So it's a matter of just grabbing and moving over to give your patients and clients. And then they see you as someone that is actually going to be able to assist them more and more. They trust you, they refer. So being a treatment guru, we're talking about our education. What you do get with that is fortnightly newsletters that are readable and usable. So there's no point in giving you bloody horrible newsletters that you can't actually unpack. Links to videos to share with your clients. You're going to keep up to date with best practices for your clinic, which means that if there's best practices coming along all the time, you get them first. So you're not having to scroll through buckets and buckets and buckets of IMed or PubMed or some of the other research-heavy websites. And your clients are going to reap rewards because they're going to feel better and healthier. So this is Marie. So Marie, I don't know why I've got Libby. Marie's story. Marie works in a centre that she calls Heart-Centred Practice, and she's an amazing practitioner. She lives down in Adelaide, and the things that she's talking about, she's been with me for about 7 or 8 months now as well, and she's happy because she likes to get a little bit of stuff with the research, but she doesn't want to dig into research. And really, no one wants to dig into research. There's very few people who really want to get in there and go, oh, let's spend the whole day looking at ethical practice. I've been going through, because I'm starting to do case studies now. I don't even know if you can see that, but I've just got the bodywork. I've got my bodywork and movement therapies book out and going through all of the journals to work out how to do descriptive surveys, etc., etc. Because 2021 is all about research with Chapmans for me. But you want to get techniques that are easy to apply. You can see what's going on and get great practice from them. And the last part of these 9, so I'm only giving you the three of them, is a safer experience. And that's what we want to, we really, as it says, if 2020 has told us anything, is that your clients need to feel safe. They actually need to feel like they are being nurtured and supported by you. They want to have that feeling that you get them, you know, and you will have heard that, you know, people come and go, I'm here because you get what's going on with me. You understand what's happening with me. And when I'm in stress, my body is going to twist and turn and reduce my breathing, do whatever I'm doing, and you get it. You're not someone who's going to say, oh, come on, get over yourself. You actually listen to me, and you listen to my muscles, and you listen to my fascia, and you listen to my stress, and I feel safe with you. They also feel if you've got safer processes, if the structure that you have within your system makes them feel like they're in control. So I'll always give my clients, when we finish a treatment, I'll go, all right, we can book you ahead for 4 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is, depending on their level of acute or subacute. But don't feel there's any pressure. If you feel good, send me a message and say, listen, can we move it out a week? I'm feeling good. Or go in, because you can get the link. There's a link there that says I can cancel or I can ask for change in time. So they have control the whole way through their next booking experience, and it makes them feel a lot safer. And the last thing is that the promise that you offer them. So for me, my promise is that if I can't treat you really effectively within 3 treatments, I'm either the wrong therapist, or we need to, or it's the wrong techniques, or we need to find out what's going on, so refer up. So they need to know that you're not just only thinking about the dollar, you're thinking about how am I going to get you well? And if it's not me, then I'm the first person who's going to move you up to somebody else. So it actually takes away that risk. So again, we're looking at the patient safety, or the client safety, or the buyer safety. And that's I think it's a really important thing for them to understand that, yes, you get them, that they have control of the process, and that you have a promise that you're going to support them all the way through. And if that support means I'm moving you out, then that's the right support. What we want to try to do is make sure that they need to know that it's you and only you that are looking after them, because there's 100 therapists out there. What makes them drive an extra 25 minutes to go and see you versus seeing somebody else? So they need to know that everything that you are doing is something that nobody else is doing. And that's the difference between someone who can charge $150 for an hour and someone who charges $90 an hour. It's because your clients and patients that come to see you know that they'll get your support from no one else. And then we look at our unlimited resources. So those unlimited resources that you get from the Supercharged group is that you've got content and techniques that you're able to apply straight away. And then most of those content and techniques are, we're going, look, this is a muscle energy technique. This is great for neck and shoulders. This is the video that goes to it. You can grab that and send it to your clients and patients. You can grab that and sit them down in front of it right there. There might be the poster. This is, for me, I use the trigger point charts a bit. I know they may not be exactly 100%, but pretty much someone comes in I had a lady that came in to see me this week who said she had right shoulder pain and right neck pain. And she was going, oh my God, I was having a heart attack. So I went and saw the doctor, blah, blah, blah. I said, look, you know what? It's left is actually heart, so you're not dying of a heart attack. Right is gallbladder. That's your fertile female, 40, that's kind of like the gallbladdery things. But have a look at this chart. Can you see, is that where it was feeling here, here, and here? Yes, it's probably coming from this muscle right here. Does that, are we getting, so you're actually giving them some content rich that they feel safe. And again, systems available for you to contact me, because if you want to be able to say, listen, Paula, I've got a problem with someone and I'm not sure what to deal with, then you can just jump straight into we've got a Facebook private portal that people ask questions to and from straight away, and I'm always on board there. And the promise that you will continue to stay above those that you've called your peers is what we're trying to do. What I'm trying to do is go, if you felt like that person there was better than you, we are going to make you feel so much higher, that you are actually got all of the skills, all of the resources, and that you've just come from a centered space that you're just driving from that sage. You're driving from the hero. You're driving from a place that people will go to you because they trust you and they believe in your knowledge. So Alina is another therapist from Ireland. And the things that she talks about with the Supercharged group is that the focus is not only theory, but we've also got some case studies in there, and it's all practical, and it really is all practical. And I try to keep everybody motivated. I'm one of those gushy people that go, come on, I want to hear what's going on, tell me. I don't want to be talking to a screen by myself. And as I said, my commitment is I want you to be working to excel so that your patients get better. So we have a better, happier, healthier, safer, more stable, more pain-free world. We've got enough stress out there. We don't need more of it, and let's all work together. And she always looks forward to the newsletter that comes in I think it only comes in every Monday, but every fortnight. Like, in it goes. And you know that what's happening and what we're going to be focusing on in that 2 weeks. So what's going on in your future? Bloody hell, haven't we unpacked that? So where we are right now, 2020, 2021, we have 3 choices. We can do the same thing as we've done forever. So if you go the same thing as you have done forever, you see that line will slowly drop down. You would fall behind those people who invest in themselves. You will have the same regular clients with the same results. But what happens if the health funds cease to accept us? So what happens if there's a problem with, well, that's definitely in Australia because we have health fund rebates. So I don't know every other country, but people come in with their health card, swipe it first, and it takes up to $40 off their treatment. So what happens if people can no longer afford to see you and you're doing nothing but saying exactly what you've been doing now? What happens if the rent increases for your clinic? You're paying your bills, your staff wages, and they go on and on and on. If you try to put a little bit more of yourself into the experience, if you try to get a little bit more of yourself into education, learning, wanting to help your clients and patients, then you're going to become a leader in your field. You'll have more clients than you ever dreamt for, and you will have waiting lists. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm giving the worst, yes, it's $132 because I didn't want to have more. I'm canning people because I've got too many. And it gives you also the confidence and the ability to make the best decisions. That's the key, I think, is that we want to feel confident in when someone comes in, even if they're super complex, how am I going to strip this down? How am I going to make it work? And it's interesting because I had a patient the other day and all she wanted to do is, I knew all she needed to do was cry. All she needed. So I just started with the breath. So come on, let's do breath work. And once she started breathing and once the sympathetic nervous system slowed down and the parasympathetic nervous system got a chance to come up, the vagus nerve kind of calmed down, I grabbed a tissue and she reached for it and she sobbed for about 10 minutes. And I just stayed with her, had my hands on the diaphragm, on her chest, with my hands on her hands, just stayed. Whew. A couple of big breaths later, said, okay, let's come in and let's just sit up for me for a moment. I want you to take some big, deep breaths sitting up. Now, just have a little walk around. Tell me how you're feeling. And it was amazing the amount of changes of the pain just because she'd actually had a chance to let it out. So my knowledge of how to, would have I known how to do that 2 years ago? Probably not. Definitely not 5 years ago. I would have been treating somebody who was never going to get better because I had never the knowledge to address the cause. And with the things that you get as you progress further and further and further on in your clinical practice and your knowledge. Education is key to unlocking the world. It's a passport to freedom, which is an amazing quote from Oprah Winfrey. We know that the most successful people have coaches. I've actually had a course coach for the last 12 months just to help me about where I want to go in life. So what I want you to know, what I want to know from you, if you can chat and type in the chat box, is there one point in that webinar that's kind of clicked for you, a value add there, whether it's talking about having the ability to understand different systems, setting up a system of getting your treatment, getting your resources, understanding things. Just pop in the chat box here, or when you're watching the video replay, what's the most valuable part? So if I can assist you with that, I'll do that now or the next few days. I know there was loads of content that I was talking around, so you got plenty of opportunity to think, oh my God, what was one of the better ones? What rang true to me? Is it that I want to be better than anyone else? Or is it just working by price alone is not the way to go? To think about what really is important. So what I'm trying to offer for people who want to become excellent is a Supercharged Therapist membership portal. So it's an upskilling opportunity. It's a way for you to become excellent in all facets. So treatment, automating systems, knowledge, people skills, all of that. Who's it for? Well, as I said, it's for anybody who actually wants to become a better practitioner. It's not limited to remedial massage. People who have had less than 5 years in the industry, it will be just as applicable as for those who have been in the industry for 25 years plus. Because the people with 25 years plus still can become a little bit staid and we can get a little bit, oh, why am I here? So that's kind of part of the why of it. How does it work? You become part of my family. You get those fortnightly newsletters. You get self-paced videos, vodcasts and podcasts, and they're amazing. So I've been lucky enough to talk to, as I said, people like Anne Williams, who's a COVID research queen, the second that she brought her stuff out, we were doing podcasts with her. James Wazowski, Aaron Bright, Whitney Lowe, John Starkey, Michelle Vasallo, David Lazondak, who's we're doing an integrative thing with him right now. Amazing information that you can use at your fingertips. You get latest updates on the latest research. You get a closed Facebook group and direct links to me as often as you need. And you get new release video techniques in our private group. Now, those new release techniques go out to that group only, which is how you get to be better than the person that you thought was better than you. And your investment is $33 a month, which I don't think, not sure what exactly stood out, but maybe remember I need to push through some of the fear of moving to the next level of education. Yeah. And that's a really good point, Leslie. The fear of moving into the next level of how to do education or influence, because we kind of go, we get stuck in our own comfort zone. You know, how do I make that transition from A to B? And how much extra time, how much extra effort do I have to do to make that work. Oh my God, if I have to be more experienced and more educated, I'm going to have to go back to college. I'm going to have to do this and this. And you go, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. I've got a 4, almost 5-year-old boy running around home, and I don't have time for that. But if you had these small bite-sized chunks that you can sit down and go, okay, I can set aside 1 hour a week to watch a video, read a newsletter, and have a look at a few little links. Makes it easier. And I think that $33 a month, the 3 is because we have GST in Australia. We've got to pay the government for our goods and services tax. But $30 is $1 a day, which I don't reckon is a big outlay. So what I'm offering you to do is just type I'm in if you're interested in getting more information on the information on it, and we can set up a time to have a chat. Or you're going to be able to hit the link that I'm going to put in the group for those who are doing the replays. So you've got that I'm experienced or I'm new, and it's fine because we can have a chat and see what you want to do, or you can just tick straight in and it will take you straight into those groups, which I'm going to put into the link underneath this, and you can join straight away. If you plan on joining by the end of this evening, so I'm going to extend this out to, because it's Friday, it's Saturday here, which means it's Friday for you. I'm going to extend this out to Sunday. So when I wake up on Monday morning, anyone who has joined up will also get my 4-book DVD CD set, which is the Oh My God series. So it gives you the head and neck manual, which has got 9 videos. I'm also going to add the other 3, which is shoulder and thorax, lower back, and hip and pelvis. You're going to be getting the newsletter series to offer your clients. So there's a specific, I think it's either 6 or 10 series of newsletters that have got direct links in that you can send out each week to your clients during COVID. So that's amazing value. They're self-help. So if you were having to work from home, had you thought about putting a stand-up desk? The stand-up desk can be your ironing board. You stabilize it. So there's links to help, beautifully designed, all for you just to grab and throw in. Now the value for the head and neck and that book and the newsletter series is $330, but with the other 2 books, it's actually way up past $660. So you'll get them all free if you end up joining me by Monday morning when I wake up. So why don't you take action and jump in and either come in to be the experienced or the new. And when I finish this, actually, I'm going to see if I can grab that. I can grab that link. It's going to be annoying. I'm going to see if I can grab that link so I can actually put it into the screen box. If you want to be able to grab that, let's see, grab that link. Ah, why are you not doing that? So I'm just being as dysfunctional as possible. Let's get that here into the chat box. Putting that right there. Okay, so if you're interested in getting involved in it, which means you get all that straight away, that's the link that you're going to grab right there. And let's go back to screen share. There we go. 1,000 slides. Too many. Bang. Okay. So thank you for sticking around, Leslie. I'm going to send you out that little info on the either lower back or neck pain. Not sure what you prefer. So if you want, it's 5 really sneaky great techniques to either work on the lower back or the neck. Just pop in the chat box whether you want lower or if you want lower back or if you want neck, and I'll send that out to you because I have your I've got your email address. I definitely have it. So if you want to toss that to me. Any questions? So if you've got any questions at all, Move that mouse again. Where do you go? There he is. Where's my mouse gone? Stop share. I love a good touch screen. If you've got any questions at all, guys, I just want you to make sure that you can feel free to ask that downstairs in the replay box, and I'll help where I can. How are you going there, Leslie? All good? Hey, Benjamin. So this time next week, we're going to be opening Christmas presents, I think, for you guys. And everybody that's, that has had a chance to listen to this recording, and I really want you to have an awesome, beautiful, relaxed Christmas time. Forced COVID relaxed for many of you. And hopefully everybody stays safe and nurtured, and please look after yourselves. Anyway, I'm going to go. Take care. And hopefully I'll see you at the Supercharged group.